Hey, what have you got there?
This is one of those new chainsaw drill attachments. We bought it off Temu the other day.
But why have you got two in your hands? Or one in your hand, one on the table?
Well, this one here, as you'll see, came with everything. So little chainsaw chain, which is pretty cool. The instructions, which is, yeah, wanting. And all the other bits that you need to make it go, except for a bar, a chain bar. So, we have another one prepared later actually, in case you want to know. So this one here came with all the bits. So the bit that goes into your drill, the handle, the adapter, a safety guard, which is, yeah, it'll be interesting. You even get your bar, your little chain bar, little Allen key, and a Magic Phillips screwdriver.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yes. So, let's see. We have a scrap here trying to undo this because I threw it in before and it's like, oh, here we go. So,
wow.
As we know, these are absolute joys to undo.
No,
Here we go. So, make sure you put it on round the right way, which is probably not what I'm doing, so I'll turn it the other way. So we'll go that way.
How can you tell which one's the right way and the wrong way?
Well, the teeth. Your little tooth at the front, big tooth at the back. So that's your guide and that's your cutter. So, and make sure you get it all into place beforehand. Now this here, this is your chain adjuster. That just sits there. It doesn't actually do much, but it does adjust the chain. You can see you got these little ridges on the inside, just here. You got to make sure they go into all these little teeth. So otherwise you could end up with a slight problem of it not wanting to go properly. So now when I put it on, I didn't get those in, so there we go. That's what that then ends up looking like. So just make sure that it's all there, it's all in. Then you grab your almighty safety guard, which I don't know what it does yet, we haven't used it. So there's a little locking pin at the back here, a little locking tab just here, and the little tab there. So just make sure that clicks down in, line your holes up, bung it in, and do it up. Now I would have done this with that one, except it was missing the bar. Now I don't know what this will manage to cut through, but if you can get a 50-cent bit in there without pulling too hard, then that's pretty good tension. So just make sure it's tight, because really you don't want that sucker coming off. So then you need to put this somewhere. So you can either go into here, or you can go into there or there. See, I like to push down. So let's see if that even works. Oh, and it did, just like that. So that's what it looks like, which looks pretty cool. But how do you attach that or that to your drill? As you can see on the instructions, it doesn't actually say. So after many a second on YouTube, I found it, and it just actually slides in. So what we'll do is we'll just nip it up. Okay, so, and then as you can see, I'll just gently pull. So there she goes. Okay, but if you decide not to hold it, it becomes quite dangerous. So I would suggest you hold it when you use it, which we're about to go and do. So we'll just check it. That's okay. I might loosen that off a little bit. which again is pretty easy. I will take it battery out, so when you pull the trigger it's not going to go and cut my fingers off, which will be very handy at the moment because I need them for opening a beer later. So
Yeah.
so this here is only a job for one beer, not for any more. We just loosen that off a little bit, and see, that is now is even better, and we tighten this little sucker back up. So and there we go. Now we can slide our battery back in, and there we go. Now it has to go a lot faster than that, I guess, to cut through anything, but we have that set on 21 and gear number 2. So you've got 21 up here and gear number 2. So now when we go out and we'll jump in the back of the ute and go and cut up, I don't know, we'll try a pallet first and see what it does. Okay, see you in a minute.
1 eternity later.
Right, because it's a chainsaw, obviously, as we all know, when they bite and they draw blood. Can be an extensive amount of blood. This is only little, so it'll only remove fingers, toes, eyes or skin. So, earmuffs, I don't know how loud it's going to be. It should only be the loudness of the drill. So, and a little bit of chain. So, but earmuffs, goggles, I mean, it's up to you. I like my eyes. I don't know if we can replace them yet with electric eyeballs, so goggles and gloves. Only because you're going to get splinters and all that sort of stuff. So let's hook in, get something done. Rightio. So we're going with the thinnest bit of wood I've got at the moment. It's an old pallet. So
Out.
Okay, so we're going with an old pallet. The reason we're going with an old pallet, it's fairly soft wood, and it's thin. It's the thinnest stuff I've got at the moment. So let's see what happens. No, I didn't like that. It tried to spin on me, so we'll do that one again. Okay. Rightio. So we're going to go. We had to go before. Word of advice: hang on to it. It tends to want to spin. So let's have another go. Okie dokies. So. Rightio. Right, it did it. I mean, thickness wise, I mean, it's not very thick, right? It's only pellet wood, it's only shit. But it actually did it. I have to learn to hold on to it a different way, I think, so that it doesn't spin. I think once you're in a bigger, thicker bit of wood, which we'll try again in a minute, you could probably let go and just let it run for its life. Okay, let's try a bigger bit. Okay, obviously this is a lot thicker, so we'll see what happens. If you hear screaming, yelling and blood squirting, do something about it. Have a beer. Rightio, here we go. Wear safety shoes. When things drop on your toes, you know about it. But again, it did it. We've got no smoke coming from the chain. The chain could probably use a little bit of tension after that, but for 20 bucks or freebie or whatever it was, not bad. Not bad. Be pretty neat on little pruning fruit trees and things like that. I reckon it'd be perfectly good. Or if you just wanted a survival tool or something like that, again, pretty cool. Or if you just needed to cut up firewood at home and you're just a lady that doesn't know how to swing a chainsaw, 20 bucks. Keep you warm at night. Go and find some pellets, hook in. Cheers.